Hello, friends and listeners, party people. Welcome back to another episode of Party XP. I'm your host, Lakan, and joining me is nobody. I'm flying solo again today. Jeff tried to come into town over the weekend to record in person, and unfortunately, some things came up, and Jeff had to take care of daddy duties. So I'm going to go ahead and step up to the plate again and handle another solo episode. Appreciate you guys for tuning in for the previous one. I know that it was a little bit rambling, kind of off topic and tangenty and all this other stuff, but it was kind of a last minute thing. I tried to do with it as much as I could, and kind of just talk about some stuff and kind of make it kind of like a quick check-in, basically. This one, we did have a topic that I wanted to kind of go over a little bit more, and I'll try my best to stay a little bit more focused this time around. So grab yourself a drink, a snack, and let's get started. This week, we'll be talking about the III Initiative Showcase. What is the III Initiative? This is taken straight from their Steam page. The III Initiative is a new collaborative effort to highlight fan-favorite games and hype up established indie classics as well as new IPs. The initiative is backed by strong independent studios such as Evil Empire, Red Hook Studios, Megacrit, Poncle, Stonlock Studios, Thunder Lotus, Relogic, Ghost Ship Games, Extremely OK Games, Heart Machine, and more. So it is a way for a bunch of independent developers to come together and show off some new stuff. Very cool. Very excited for this. So you may have heard me use the term III before. If I remember correctly, I heard it first on the Nintendo podcast when they were interviewing a PR person or a dev from Yacht Club Games, the creators of Shovel Knight, or Chuhai Labs, the creators of Curse to Golf. One of the two. And they were using the term, I guess, as like a label to explain the larger scopes of these indie games and these studios. We're talking like our Devolver Digitals, our Megacrits, Evil Empire, like the creators of the big, these bigger indie titles that have kind of crossed over almost out of the indie space and had, large mainstream success, like our Dead Cells, our Hades, our Shovel Knights, Hollow Knights, so on and so forth. And they borrow, I guess, the basis of the term III from the AAA. And again, sometimes if they get big enough, they have the chance to ride that success into collaborating with some AAA studios. And those AAA studios are, the ones from like Konami, Capcom, any of the Sony studios, Sucker Punch, Naughty Dog, any of the Microsoft studios, Bethesda, Activision, Blizzard, all that stuff, right? EA, Ubisoft. These are the AAA studios. They're the ones who make these bigger blockbuster console seller games, right? That's kind of what everyone knows when you think video games. You think of like the games that Nintendo pumps out, that Xbox pumps out, and Sony pumps out. That's kind of what people are thinking of, and you'll kind of think of as the AAA games, your Call of Duties, your God of Wars, Tomb Raiders, anything Mario, anything Legend of Zelda, any of those things, basically. Those are going to be your AAA titles, right? And the III, again, is just a term used to explain the larger scale, larger studio. We have a wide range of what is considered indie, right? Anything from a 10-person team to a 400-person team, like in Larian Studios. They're technically indie still, but there's 400 people there who work on video games. So it was about 45 minutes. It says an hour on the YouTube channel, but I believe there was a 15-minute countdown before the video actually started, so there's that. And they came out of the gate swinging. I was very, very hyped for this reveal trailer. I'm just going to have it playing in the background for myself now, so I can also talk about it and refer to it. But Slay the Spire 2. Longtime listeners of the show, you guys may know that our first episode was Slay the Spire. New listeners, our first episode was Slay the Spire. And you don't have to listen to it. It was really not a good episode, or do, and you can see how far Jeff and I, at least we think we've come along now since starting this podcast in the first place. Almost 2 years now. 2 years? Yeah. I mentioned it before, but I love Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire is one of my comfort games. I have it on my phone. I have it on my Steam Deck. I played it a lot on PC before the Steam Deck even came out. I've dumped a lot of time into this game, and it's just one of the games that I kind of default to if I don't know what I need to play or what I want to play at the moment. But Slay the Spire 2 is cool. There's gonna be a big, hopefully a big sequel here, some more stuff, some more mechanics, and again, Slay the Spire already has a lot of life in it still, right? There are people still making mods for the game. There's the Downfall mod, which is a massive mod that is almost essentially supported by the original devs of the game. So seeing us play the Spire 2, super excited. So starting off the video here, we get to see like a glimpse of the Snecko Eye, the bird-faced urn, and the Vajra. And then we get to see somebody on a boat coming to the island, I guess, where the Spire is. And then we get to see animated Ironclad and the Silent, which is sick. I don't think I actually go out seeking content for around this game, aside from watching, I guess, like, streamers, higher level players just play this game in general and kind of pick their brain to how I get better this game without playing all the time by myself. I paused the video here and I see a couple cards on the merchant's blanket. I see a magnetism. I see I think that's an uppercut, and then I see a claw back there. So that's cool. So the defect is going to be in the game too, then, I'm assuming. Let's see. Let's play the video again. Yeah, we get the Ironclad walking in, the Silent, and then we see the Slay of the Spire 2. They just went with just add the number to it, which is great. Keep it simple. And then we see a new character flash in. Looks like a sassy Grim Reaper, like kind of just floating, scythe behind them, hand on their hip bone. Yeah. And then early access 2025. And then we get a short little hello from Niao. You see the 6 eyes from the whale that starts off in the bottom of the Spire. I'm very excited for this. I really enjoy Slay the Spire. I'm looking forward to Slay the Spire 2, and I'm very curious to see what they do to change the game up and how to add some, even more playability to this already very, very replayable game. Next up, we've got the Risk of Rain 2 Devotion update. So this one's a little bit of a longer one. I think this one ran for like 40 seconds or so. They're both about 40 seconds apart. We see the prisoner right off the bat from Dead Cells as being added as a playable character in Risk of Rain 2. Very cool. Very, very excited for this one. I also enjoy Risk of Rain 2. I don't know if I ever talked about it on this show, but I like this game a lot. I played a lot of it when it first came out. I probably should dip my toe back into it. I'm sure there's been more and more stuff that come out for the game. And I also love Dead Cells, so I was very excited to see the prisoner here. Initially confused, but now I'm very excited. Yeah, there's just more stuff, which is great, because I think this is just a really fun game. Again, this is one of those games when I remember when I still had a lot more free time, me and I got like 3 other friends into this game, and we just would do nothing but play this game over and over and over again. We lost a lot of time to this game, but it's very, very fun. Very replayable. Some new items going on, some new choices going on here. Yeah, it looks like the same game but different. Like it's just been a while since I've come back to this one, so I really should pick this one back up again. But yeah, excited for that one. Again, 40-second video, really simple, kept it clean. Looking forward to that one. Maybe for the other games that I don't know a whole lot about, I'll just move along, just so I don't waste anyone else's time or talk out of my ass about a game I don't know anything about. Next up I've got here is Gestalt, Steam, and Cylinder. They actually put out a release date. I actually had this on my wish list before the video came out. I was like, I feel like I recognize this, and because I already saw it on Steam. So they announced a release date May 21st. This is a retro 2D platformer. I don't know. The animations just remind me of like Castlevania. They just, like the way they run, the way they do the pixel art. There's this big ass skill tree here. They do combos and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, it just reminds me of a little bit like Castlevania, maybe even a little bit of like Mega Man Zero with there's like a dash from it looks like, and you can jump off of walls and slide and roll. Maybe a mix of things here, but I'm looking forward to this one. This one looks very, very cool. Again, I've had it on my wish list already beforehand. So next one in the showcase was the Vampire Survivors Operation Guns DLC. Oh, this is sick. Yeah, so another animation as well too, with one of the characters using a whip to kill off a bunch of bats and fighting off a big old monster, and then we just see bullets coming by her head, and we see 2 guys swinging in with their rifles just shooting these monsters down, which is just great, awesome. And then we see the multiplayer update is up as well too. I think that came out a little while ago and I forgot about it. But yeah, they're partnering with Contra. The DLC is Operation Guns. I mentioned it before. This comes out May 9th, so a little bit under a month from now. They're also bringing in Brad Fang from Contra Hardcore. So looking forward to this one. This is going to be fun. I still play a decent amount of Vampire Survivors. Again, very easy to have on my phone, have it on my Steam Deck. It's just like, sometimes if I just don't want to talk or don't want to think, and I can just play a game kind of in the background, this is a very good game. Say I'm on the workout bike. You know, I just want to take my mind off of it. I'll have a YouTube video playing, and then I'll be playing Vampire Survivors while, you know, just kind of on the bike. More Vampire Survivors is always good stuff. Even their previous update with the Among Us stuff and some other stuff they also did recently, some other collabs they did on recently are very, very fun. Looking forward to more Vampire Survivors stuff. The next game on the showcase was a game called Undermine 2. This looks really fun. I don't think I've even seen the original, but the art style is really cute. It's like a top-down kind of like action RPG type of thing going on. You fight big monsters, you know, you're killing slimes, kind of hunting for treasure from looks like, I guess. But this is really cool. This is just, you know, again, never saw the first one. Maybe I'll check out the first one if it's on sale or something. This looks fun though. Maybe fun to play with friends, but I don't know who else I can convince to, you know, pick this one up kind of thing. But, you know, well, maybe I'll check it out just for myself. Next up, we've got Darkest Dungeon 2. This game came out last year. I played a good amount of Darkest Dungeon. I am not very good at it. I got pretty far in the game, but never fully to actually complete or clear a full run, I guess you want to call it. I didn't dump as much time into this one comparatively to like a Slay the Spire roguelike kind of thing. Cool, more updates, more content is always good. I've heard mixed things about Darkest Dungeon 2. I've heard that it feels more grindy, but, you know, good for more content for Darkest Dungeon. I appreciate, I respect the series. I can just never got really super into it because it's very, very difficult. But I respect it for what it is. The next one up is called Rakugaki. I believe it means sketch in Japanese, if I remember correctly. No gameplay on it. They just kind of revealed it, so that was really it. So not a whole lot to start off with, but I definitely kept it on my my watch list for now. Brotato Abyssal Terrors. So Brotato is a game that I have on my phone as well. Good game, again, kind of like a twin stick shooter, like a Survivors like almost kind of thing. And they are also getting a couch co-op update this summer, which is cool. Old World Behind the Throne expansion. Don't know a whole lot about this one. It's like a turn-based strategy world deck building game, I guess, or Civ game, I guess. I feel like I saw this somewhere. Oh, wait. I think I might have seen this at PAX. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, I saw this at PAX. I think Jack might have tried it, but I just watched him play and I had no idea what he was doing. Not my type of game, but it's out there for everybody else. Next up is Power World Multiplayer. I didn't play Power World, but I've heard very fun things, at least for the first little bit of it until the content kind of dries up. Multiplayer Arena, that's cool. Why not? I don't know how that works. Is there not PvP already in the game? Maybe I should look that up. As long as the game hasn't been sued into oblivion by Nintendo yet, cool. More stuff coming out for the game is always good. I think they showed off like a raid as well too, like a new raid monster or something. I don't know. I feel like I saw something new recently. That might have been a different video. So it looks like you're kind of going into like one-on-one kind of game. Well, not one-on-one, right? I guess technically it's you and somebody else, and you bring in 3 of your pals, and you do the fight that way, I guess. So that's cool. I'm sure that seems to be interesting. I'm looking forward to see what some content creators and some streamers do with that kind of gameplay. Next up, we've got 33 Immortals. This looks really interesting to me. So this reminds me very much of Hades, an action RPG type of roguelike, but apparently there's 32 other people that's playing with you. And you all kind of have like your own independent abilities and builds and stuff. So I'm curious to see how this will go. A lot more monsters than a typical Hades run from what it looks like. There's more swarms of them, I guess. I see a bunch of like, you know, pickups, and when you die, you kind of get this very similar kill screen, whereas the rebellion has failed, kind of like what happens to Zagreus in Hades. But it's cool. Looks like a bunch of story stuff. Not exactly a clone person. Oh, there's actually yeah, there's a full on map. It's almost it's like a live map of what's actually happening at the same time. Very cool. I'm interested to see how this goes. I want to see what this looks like when you've actually got like a full ass squad or playing with a bunch of randos. But seeing everybody rolling up together in the final parts of this trailer looks really interesting. You know, you all squad up and kind of run into the final boss encounter, I guess. That looks really cool. Yeah, so 33 Immortals. That comes out. That goes into closed beta on May 24. So that's very cool. It's like it looks like a mini MMO almost kind of thing. It looks very fun. Oh, another one I was very hyped for. Wizard of Legend 2. So Wizard of Legend 1, or I guess the original one, is it reminds me a lot of like Magicka, I guess, where you're a wizard and you combine spells, and you know you basically just go dungeon. You know, it's an action RPG, and like, you know, kind of roguelike. Very quick to pick up and put down. Some spells are faster than others. Some do more damage than others. You know, you combine spells and you explore and you do all this other stuff. Wizard of Legend 2 looks like they changed up the design a little bit more. Instead of it being, I think, if I'm not losing my mind, I'm pretty sure that has more of a pixel aesthetic, if I remember correctly. When did this game even come out? Now I'm trying to remember. This game came out in 2018. I guess it was a little bit older. Yeah, it's like a pixel aesthetic essentially for this one. And then the new one is a full-on 3D rendered game. Looks kind of semi-isometric from what it looks like, at least in terms of the animation. Yeah, like it runs like kind of if you're looking at it like a top-down like Hades type of thing again. But looks like more spells, more combinations of items, stuff like that, more monsters. It looks like you have up to 4-player co-op now. I could have sworn the original only had 3-player co-op. I could be crazy. I might have just not have enough friends to play this game with me. Yeah, this says multiplayer. I don't know how many people actually play with you, but I should probably pop this one open again. It's been a while since I played this one. I remember playing this one mostly solo, but I heard this one's more fun with friends, so maybe I should see if I can gift a couple people, see if it's on sale or something. But yeah, like Wizard of Legend was cool. I really liked it. I liked the animations of the original game. But very cool that they're getting like a 3D version essentially with Wizard of Legend 2. Some new animations, some more stuff. It's another roguelike with replay value and that power fantasy, right, of being a massively overpowered wizard with a bunch of spells. Very cool. Looking forward to this one as well. Layssara Summit Kingdom. I don't know a whole lot about this one. It looks like a mountain city builder. So cool. Good for you if you like city builder stuff. I'm just not a big city builder sim guy, so I guess good for everybody else, but not for me. V Rising Castlevania crossover DLC. This is sick. Last year, Dead Cells had a Castlevania crossover collab DLC. It was very cool to see them actually licensing out their property and allowing an indie developer to go ahead and make something out of it. And I very much so enjoyed that DLC as much as well. And you've heard Jeff also enjoy that one. So V Rising is I don't want to explain V Rising. V Rising is kind of like a third-person survival game where you're a vampire and you build your own home. They have a crossover. I remember just seeing this animation. I was like, it's just game. It's actually gameplay. Yeah, they're showing the different castles and then the coffin opening up, and it looked straight up. I was like, is this Alucard? I thought it was like, oh, it's just a new 3D Castlevania game. They should have just show Simon Belmont just shows up here. It's great. Again, I'm thinking this. It looks like Alucard. I want to say that is anyway. But yeah, they got the weapons. You know, the Morning Star, the Holy Water, the cross boomerang going on. Yeah, this is sick. I kind of wish I got into V Rising. This DLC comes out May 8th of this year. Never Alone 2. I remember playing the original forever ago, but I really liked it. Never Alone 1 was a single player or 2-player platformer where you play as a little girl and a white fox. I don't recall if the fox was a spirit animal or not. It was basically a 2D platformer with a bunch of storytelling and history of the culture, essentially, of the Alaskan tribe, I believe, that the game was based on. It was cool to see this again because I haven't thought of it since I played the original back in, well, the game released in 2014, but I think I played it in like 2016 or so. But yeah, like I haven't thought about it since, and you know, it's cool to see that it actually gets a sequel now. Let's see here. Is that all of it? I want to say there was more stuff, but I feel like I missed out on something. Well, there's definitely more. This list that I've got is not even in like full order. Okay, whatever. Oh, 2850. Here we go. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I just remember seeing this game and being hyped for this one. So I already own this one. This game is called Death Must Die. It's already out on early access. So this game is basically a cross between Hades and Vampire Survivors. I want to say it's kind of like right in the middle between the both of them. So Vampire Survivors, you don't aim your weapon. The weapon's kind of auto fire for you, and you just kind of survive within the hordes of monsters, right? While Hades is very action, right? It's you're controlling everything. You control your dashes when you attack, all that stuff, while you're also still getting swarmed, right? This is kind of that middle ground where you get the giant screen covering masses of enemies. Every character only has one weapon essentially, but you can modify yourself with helmet, gauntlets, chest armors, rings, amulets, right? You get these like augmentations to your your base stats, and then you can also get these upgrades to your base abilities or passive abilities, kind of like in Vampire Survivors or Hades, where you dash, you leave a path of fire, or you can swing faster. You cover more AOE. It's a really cool middle ground between the both of them, and then close to the Hades side, they draw all of the gods or other characters that are giving you like the help, the boons, essentially, just really attractive. They're all just very, very pretty or handsome. Yeah, no, yeah. Again, like this list that I had here is missing a bunch of stuff. Kill Knight looks insane. Looks like a crazy hack and slash kind of game, glitchy. Got a big old machine guns and stuff like that, and a sword. Like it looks almost like a top-down Devil May Cry almost. I'm very curious to see what this one looks like down the line. Oh yeah, this list missed out on so much stuff. There's another game that I was pretty hype on from seeing it. This game has a little bit of weird energy around it right now. The game's called Hyper Light Breaker. This is the sequel to Hyper Light Drifter, which is a top-down Metroidvania, Souls-like hack and slash ARPG type of game that came out a while ago. I want to say like 2016 or so. But very pretty, very aesthetic pixel game. And the sequel is only in a bit of a weird space right now because apparently it has some involvement with the company Sweet Baby Inc., which is kind of in some water right now from gamers. There's a whole thing on it where there was a group for for Sweet Baby Inc. detected, and then one of the people who worked for them did like a targeted harassment campaign against the guy who started the group. It's a bunch of weird stuff. You can look up yourself. I'm not going to dive too much into it, but Hyper Light Drifter is a fantastic game, and I just seeing this trailer, I was like, oh, looks sick. It's a like a third person over the shoulder kind of hack and slash view of Hyper Light, very similar gameplay from what it looks like. You have the dash, your hack and slash sword abilities, your fire abilities, some big enemies kind of stuff. It looks really cool. Again, I will wait until this one comes out. Apparently it's only wishlist from what it looks like. Curious about it. Again, I'm not sure what's going to come out of it since, again, they're kind of like adjacently attached to some controversy at the moment. Oh yeah, this game looks sick. Mouse. I was very confused. I thought it was a Cuphead update because they're doing like the old school Steamboat Willie style animation, but it's a first person boomer shooter, I guess. It's wild. It's like it got very violent very quick, and I was like, this looks insane. So this looks sick. I'm very curious to see how this one comes out. There's a wish list on Steam at the moment. Nothing. I don't know if it has a release date yet. Let me make sure of that. That looks really cool. And I'm dropping everything. Everything's going wrong. So all they have as of right now is a release date of 2025. So that's really it. No demo. Okay. But yeah, the animation is really cool. The music is jazzy. Inspired by classic FPS and noir films. This immediately got put onto my wish list. Very excited for this one. Really looking forward to this one. And for the last game of the showcase, they showed off The Rogue Prince of Persia. This is a hype trailer for this game. So I saw Evil Empire, and that was the team created by Motion Twin. They were the creators of Dead Cells, right? Evil Empire was the team that handled the development and support for Dead Cells after the release of Dead Cells. They handled essentially all the DLC from 2019 onward. So they did all the big DLCs. They did the Castlevania DLC was the last one. And then earlier this year, I believe, Motion Twin announced that they would stop making new content for Dead Cells, and Evil Empire is going to move on for new projects. And I think they teased they had something in the works, essentially, with another developer. Okay, so back to the actual reveal trailer. I was seeing this and I was like, this looks kind of familiar character-wise, but I can't say for sure. Character design-wise, if I recognize it right off the bat. But we get to see the rogue with the dual daggers save the little girl and a cat. Some wall running action. And that's the moment that I knew. I was like, oh, wait a second. Because I don't think they showed anything right off the bat. I think they just showed Evil Empire in the beginning. Yeah, they showed Evil Empire in the beginning. And then him save the girl. He does a little bit of wall running, like grab a bar, use it to propel himself, swing off a bar to kick somebody else, and do this more like, free running stuff. Save the girl again using a chakram, I believe. And then, yeah, like a bunch of arrows are getting fired upon the girl. And you see the rogue dashing in to protect the little girl. And then we get the official transition from the animated trailer into gameplay, which was sick. So we see him again have some wall running. Essentially looks like almost like as long as there's a wall there, it looks almost like you can kind of just traverse up and down as well too. Yeah, it looks like a lot of like freedom of movement, and which is always great. This reminds me of Dead Cells almost to an extent because of Dead Cells fluidity of movement. This is even more so because you have kind of more tools available to you in terms of verticality and flowing in and out of spaces. This is very cool. Steam Early Access May 14th of this year from what it looks like. Yes, very excited for this one. Again, it's a roguelike that combines the wall running with the combat. From what it looks like, yeah, like the combat of that was kind of like, I guess, introduced. I want to say Prince of Persia, because I think Prince of Persia might have started that whole like flow combat type of state, right? Where it started off in Prince of Persia, then it moved to Assassin's Creed, then went to like the Arkham games. So yeah, I think I'm right on that. Excited for this one. This looks really interesting. I'm hoping this one ends up being very, very good. I'm looking forward to this one. The end screen says The Rogue, Prince of Persia, brought to you by Evil Empire and Ubisoft. I think that's all of the games that I really wanted to focus on. If I didn't touch on any of the games, it's because I may not have known much about it in the first place, and I wouldn't have had anything to add. I would recommend to honestly go check out the video as well for yourself. You could watch along with whatever I was talking about within this episode because I do explain which one I'm looking at. But at least in regards to all the rest of the games on this list or in the showcase, there's a lot of stuff that I'm really, really looking forward to coming out this year or next year. So super excited. I'm really looking forward to what's coming out here now. And so I think that'll be all for this episode. Thank you guys again for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys for being understanding with the things that Jeff and I are currently trying to working through to make sure that we can actually at least try to get the show to come out on a regular schedule and on time. Again, if things happen with either one of us, we're going to try our best to at least make sure that we have something interesting for us to put out, to talk about, to really focus on for you guys. We really appreciate you guys for all the support. Please leave us a review, leave us a like on whatever audio platform you guys are listening to us on. Share us with a friend. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care. Oh, everything's falling apart. Awesome.